Hi, I'm Charles from Studio Leicester. Thanks for your interest in the story of St. Marge. In the audio version of Episode 1, we meet Marco and some of the locals on the small seastead community of St. Marge. We have also included some concept illustrations and sound effects to help enhance your experience. Enjoy. It is night during a tropical storm on St. Marge Island's floating co-op. We can only see between flashes of lightning. High winds are bending the palm trees and lightning striking all around. We see the islanders hurriedly tying their boats down and seeking shelter from the storm. High winds are crashing onto the reclaimed oil platform. We see the turbulent waves and a blinking red light just under the surface. The lights disappear below the surface. It is now sunrise. The sun rises over the ocean. It is a beautiful day. Way out in the distance, we see a lone dive ship. Through binoculars, we see Marco's ship, the Catfish Charlie. The Catfish Charlie is a dive boat about 50 foot in length. We see Marco. Marco is preparing his sea bob for diving. A sea bob is like an underwater propelled sled. He is gathering the equipment he will need for the dive. Marco is in his mid-30s. He has olive tan skin with brown eyes, long scruffy dark brown hair, and a scruffy beard. He is tall, not particularly muscular, but thin and fit. He is wearing a black wetsuit with green trim. It is revealed that the binoculars belong to Remy. Remy puts the binoculars down, turns, and hands them to Mr. Zweit. Remy is a tall, muscular, tropic island native with long wavy black hair with red highlights. Remy has a mustache and a beard. He is about 36 and is wearing neoprene tropic shorts. Mr. Zweit is a 50-year-old man. He is dark-skinned with dark eyes and has short, kinky cropped hair with no facial hair. He is wearing black tropic shorts, a black rash guard, and a black boat jacket and boat shoes. He is very refined looking, and when he speaks slow, clear, and deliberate. Mr. Zweit, looks like we have a situation to resolve. The ship they are on is La Rouge. La Rouge is 90 foot in length, new, very slick, with plenty of rear deck room for diving equipment and underwater propulsion vehicles. What makes La Rouge stand out is the whole ship is painted black. Where the name of the ship traditionally goes is a red stylized skull and crossbones. The ship has more satellite dishes, communication receivers, and transmitters than a normal yacht would have. We see Maritza, the lieutenant, Ghost, and Scurvy the sea dog running around, starting to suit up for a dive and preparing sea scooters. Sea scooters are for underwater propulsion. Their wetsuits have the same unique skull design on their chests as the ship has. Remy grabs a gun with a very large diameter barrel. Maritza is attractive and in her early 30s. She is fit, very light-skinned, with short bleach blonde hair that is trimmed on the sides and long in the front. She has beautiful blue eyes. She is wearing a bikini in which she is pulling her wetsuit over. The lieutenant and Ghost are early 30s as well. They have medium dark skin and dark hair. They both have their wetsuits on and are preparing their sea scooters. Scurvy is a mostly black dog with white accents. He is an island potcake dog. Remy, Maritza, Lieutenant, and Ghost all get into the water with their sea scooters. Back on the Catfish Charlie, Marco is wearing wireless earbuds while preparing his sea bob for submersion. We hear only one side of a tech conversation. John? Yeah, it's Marco. I'm at the St. Marge hub, about to do some shallow survey with the C-Bob. Yeah, tomorrow the mini-sub gets delivered and I can survey the deeper depths. So, let me get this straight. There's some sort of interference in the cable line. It started during the storm? Okay. Track the cable and document. Do you want me to survey the cable from the hub to the island breakout? Yeah. Document with digital media? Any specific format or codec? No. Upload to the same file share? Okay. Great. How am I invoicing this? By day? Bytes? Expenses? Any bonus incentives? No. No? Yeah, first time in St. Marge. Yeah, thanks. I'll check it out. You too. Marco drops the C-Bob into the water, jumps in, and heads to the bottom. We see Remy, Maritza, the lieutenant, and Ghost arrive at the Catfish Charlie with their sea scooters. Remy, Maritza, and the lieutenant leave their scooters with Ghost underwater. Remy, Maritza, and the lieutenant board the Catfish Charlie by the ladder. Lieutenant stays topside and keeps watch while Remy and Maritza go below. Maritza goes to the engine room, turns off the pumps, and severs one of the tubes. Remy takes out the large caliber gun and blasts 3 large holes in the hull at specific locations. Water starts rushing in. We see Marco and his C-Bob gliding through the reef. We see the beauty of the island reef. The reef is flatter in this area and the bottom is sandy. There is a fair amount of coral, seagrass, and fish to be seen. A moray eel swims by. Marco is surveying for damage to a cable on the reef. Marco spots some blue metal scrap glistening in the water and goes to collect it. While Marco is collecting the metal, he hears a couple of concussion-like sounds and feels disturbance in the water. Marco turns the C-Bob around and sees a boat sinking behind him. The boat's name can be seen. Its name is the Catfish Charlie. His ship quickly reaches the bottom of the ocean floor and kicks up a cloud of sand. St. Marge is a tiny seastead co-op that centers around a reclaimed oil drilling platform. On the top of the platform are 2 main buildings, the berths and the chapel. The berths include about 30 small apartments and is the main residency on the platform. The chapel is essentially a co-op center that houses a bar, kitchen, game room, and hotel that includes 10 rooms and a garden terrace rooftop. The north, west, and south sides of the chapel are open to the elements, with tiki blinds for shade. Patrons can expand to the deck. When the bar closes or rough weather prevails, roll-down metal shutters secure the bar. Although the chapel is a working man's bar, the bar is decorated in pastel island colors with aged and color-washed natural wood accents. We see through the eyes of one of the locals as they walk through the bar. The chapel's clientele is made up of cargo ship workers, after-hour tourist trade workers, and locals. The chapel consists of a standalone bar that sits towards the south end of the building and seats about 20 around it. There are about 30 seated areas surrounding the bar. Towards the north end of the bar are 10 tables that can seat up to 40 people. All told, the chapel seats around 100 people, with the ability to pack in close to 300. With overflow to the game room and outside, it is possible to host the entire seastead co-op. The local walks in from the south side and passes the standalone bar. It is late dinner time and the food rush is over. Most of the bar seats are taken up and a few diners are still at the tables. We hear Mitch, a steel drum player, playing reggae versions of obscure 70s tunes. Behind the bar is Big Marge and Uma. We hear Oli, the local's voice. Marge? Uma? Big Marge is an islander in her late 40s, early 50s. She has dark, rich skin, dark eyes, and dark hair. She is big in stature, wearing a light island blouse and an ankle-length island skirt with beaded waist belts. She is wearing a typical island head wrap. Uma is also an islander in her late 20s. She is thin, attractive, and dresses to flirt for tips from the patrons. She has dark skin and eyes with dark, long, wavy hair. She is wearing a two-piece outfit mostly younger women wear, a ruffled skirt with a revealing top that shows off her midriff. She is adorned with costume jewelry and bangles. Uma is flirting with Cargo Romeo, a regular at the chapel. The local passes by Cargo Romeo and Bendy. Good evening, Romeo. Nice to see you, Bendy. Cargo Romeo is 40-something and of mixed descent. He is a little past his prime and has a few extra pounds, but can be quite charming. Cargo Romeo is one of the 20-plus crew that works and lives on the cargo ship docked off the island. Next to Cargo Romeo is Bendy. Bendy is one of the dive masters on the island. He is from the tropics and is around 30 years old. He has dark skin and dark, short, kinky hair. He is relatively good-looking, but a bit lacking in common sense and can be gullible when not in the water. Across the bar is Blue and Xander. Blue? Xander? Nice crowd for after dinner. Blue is in his late 50s, with faded blue tattoos all over his face and body. His tattoos are multiple bars with random circles. He is very tall and thin and slightly emaciated. He always seems to be slightly out of it. He is the co-op's healer. Blue is wearing a light poncho-like garment with distinct tropical cultural patterns, linen pants, and sandals. Next to Blue is Xander. Xander is a mid-20s, tanned, thin, and tall white male. He has shoulder-length, blonde curly hair. He is wearing blue and black checkered boxing shorts and a sleeveless black t-shirt with the Xi'an Station Action Movie logo that shows off visible sugar skull tattoos on his arms and chest. He has 2 small hooped earrings. The rest of the bar is pretty much filled with burly island men and subcontracted labor with no obvious tourists. The local continues past the bar and into the north table section until she comes to the last table in which Marco is seated. Marco is drinking some sort of rum punch. He has pretty much drank all the alcohol from it and is nursing the watery cubes. It is revealed that the local moving through the bar is Lizzie. Well, thanks for watching. If you would like to watch more episodes about St. Marge or any of Studio Lester's other stories, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Studio Lester Stories, or check out our website and find out about episode releases and story updates at studiolester.com. We'd love to share our stories with you.